Hi, I welcome you all to this LED Expo and the seminar. Myself, I'm Dr. Prakash Barjatia, and I'm going to talk today on the sustainability and pollution due to lighting. I'm the governing body member and Director Education and Training of Indian Society of Lighting Engineers, also honorary member of SOCM Council on Green and Eco-Friendly Movement, ex-director MIT School of Energy and Lighting, Pune, also ex-technical expert service provider for the TUV Greenland, China, Japan for the lighting projects, and also led technical assessor for the NABL ISO IC 17025. With this brief introduction, we are going to talk today about what is sustainability. First, to start with. Now, as we know, our universe is made of the 5 elements. So basic elements are fire, earth, air, water, and sky. Now these are the resources of our universe. So what is the objective of today's presentation? It is sustainability is defined as the optimum utilization of natural resources. Sustainability is based on a simple principle. Everything that we need for our survival and well-being depends either directly or indirectly on our natural environment. Sustainability creates and maintains the conditions under which humans and nature can exist in productive harmony that permit fulfilling the social, economic, and other requirements of present and future generations. So why sustainability is important? It is important to making sure that we have and will continue to have the basic resources, that is the water, materials, and the resources to protect human health and our environment. So this is the main objective. Now today, throughout the global, we are talking about the sustainability. And there are 3 elements which are responsible for maintaining it. One is the environment, another is the society itself, and third is the economics. Let us see how they play a role in the sustainability. Society plays a role because one thing is there, that is standard of living, education, jobs, and equal opportunity. These are the society elements. Second is the economics, that is the growth, profit, cost saving, and environment. In that includes the energy efficiency, renewable fuels, subsidies, incentives, and green technology. And third one is the environment itself, that is the natural resources, what we use. For that, important thing is to prevent the pollution and also the biodiversity. So under that comes the aspects of the conservation policies, environmental justice, and global stewardship. Now these are the 3 elements of sustainability. Now let us move to the pollution. When we see pollution, what is the air pollution? Air pollution is the introduction of contaminants into the natural environment that cause adverse change. Pollution can take the form of chemical substances or energy such as noise, heat, or light. As I think all of us we know, we see such type of things, that air pollution due to the industries. This is a day-to-day picture which we see everywhere throughout the globally or even in India. Another important factor of the pollution is the air pollution due to automobiles. Now such things are also very common, at least in the developing countries in the world. But the pollution about which we are going to talk today, I'm really surprised that have you heard of pollution due to lights? That is pollution due to lighting. So let us have a look at that. So first thing, let us see what is the pollution due to lights and what it is. light that is annoying, wasteful, or harmful, caused by inefficient, unappealing, or unnecessary use of artificial light. Now, pollution also, there are two categories. One is the pollution which can be controlled, another which cannot be controlled. So the pollution which is there in the atmosphere and which is uncontrollable, they are the starlight, cosmic dust, particles in the air, atmospheric dust, water vapors, humidity, clouds, fog, and so on and so forth. But the pollution which we can control is the environmental pollution, and about which we are going to talk, it is the excessive outdoor lighting. So these are the pollution which can be controlled. Let us see what are the different types of light pollution. There are three major types of light pollutions are there: light trespass, sky glow, and glare. You can see here that, this is the light source. This is an example of the light source. What is the purpose? It has to give the light. So this is the useful light which is coming down and is area to be lit because of that. But apart from that, what is happening? It is also throwing away and it is giving a direct glare to the persons, those who are standing nearby. Another aspect, that this light is also going towards the houses where the light is not required, but it is going and disturbing them. In fact, another way, that even the light which is coming at the ground, it is also getting reflected in the sky. That is, upward reflections are there. And then this light is reflected back due to the heavy clouds. So, this is the complete process, that this light, whatever we are using for, it is causing all the three types of pollutions: light trespass, sky glow, and glare. Let us see in detail what are these three types of pollution. First is the light trespass. I hope you know the word trespass means unauthorized entry. So light trespass, that is light falling where it is not intended, wanted, or needed. You can see here the picture. This is the street light pole, and which is required to lead the surroundings or the surrounding below. But unfortunately, this light is also going, because it is not properly located and properly designed. This light is also going to the houses and disturbing the residents, and which is creating a problem to them like sleep deprivation. So this is the light trespass. Let us see another type of light pollution, that is sky glow. Now, what is the sky glow? Roughly, we have seen that the light which is unwanted, it is going to the sky. So it is brightening this night sky, reducing contrast of stars, and just what is the effect? Now it is depriving astronomers of enjoying celestial objects. So this is another type of light pollution. And the third one pollution is the glare. Now glare word, of course, you are aware. This is glare is nothing but the excess brightness which causes visual discomfort. You can see here that these are the street lights which are there, and they are just giving a glaring effect to all the residents or passerbys. Similarly, another glare which everybody must have experienced in the night. So we are talking about the causes. So overlighting is one of the causes, where excess light is put in our malls and the surroundings. Another is because of the inefficient light sources and fixtures. Again, the lack of shielding of all these lights and fixtures, non-use of timers, sensors, or other controls, poor maintenance, poor installation, improper selection of hardware to utilize more energy than needed, and incomplete training of the building and managers and occupants. Now, these are the causes of the pollution due to the lights, due to the lighting. Now, what are the effects of them? What are the consequences of light pollution? So one of the major consequences is the human health. You can see here, it causes human health because of the light pollution. Second is the disruption in the ecosystem, and the animals and the plants, they get affected because of such excessive lights. And third one is the increase in the energy consumption. Now these are some major consequences are there. So you can see that energy gets wasted because the excess energy goes, it becomes waste. It affects on human health and psychology, disruption of ecosystems, effects on animal world and plantation. It also causes loss of safety, and it has got the effect on the astronomy. Now these are the consequences or the results of the pollution due to lights. So after discussing consequences and the causes, let us see what are the remedial measures, how we can overcome. So you can see first very important thing is the proper design of lighting fixtures. Now this is the example shown here, that there are two types of lights are shown here. Then one is with the properly shielded lights is there. So you can see that light is just falling below in the proper direction where it is required. Lights are directed downward to reduce the glare and spillovers. The same thing if it is not properly designed, now it is just spreading everywhere and causing a pollution everywhere. So this is the one example of the pollution, and this can be avoided the proper design of lighting fixtures. Second example is the use of eco-friendly light source. You can see here, the graph is shown here. From the graph you can see there it is showing the lumen per watt or the light efficiency of the light sources. A red color is the incandescent lamp, a yellow bulb, what we call conventionally. Second one, red is shown, yellow is shown by the halogen lights, and the CFL is shown by the green, and LED is by the blue. So these are the different type of light sources, comparative lumen per watt efficiency of different light sources. Let us see their characteristics. So if we see the performance comparison with reference to the energy and life, there is the energy consumed wattage for the same light output. If we consider equivalent, if we use the incandescent bulb of 60 watt, the equivalent light source fluorescent will be hardly 1/5, that is either hardly 13 to 15 watt, and the LED if you see, hardly it is 1/10. So see the efficiency of the LED, and that's why these are need to be used today. The incandescent need to be used replaced by the LED. Even also same time we can also see that their economics, that lifespan of the average of the light sources. Incandescent bulb 1200 hours, fluorescent they goes for 8000 hours, and LED they are almost last for 50,000 hours. So you can see the life and economics of the different light sources. Even if we see the performance comparison of the environmental, from the environmental point of view, there is the carbon dioxide emissions which is emitted pounds per year. If we presume that these light sources are used for 5 hours per day for 365 days per year for 30 bulbs, so what will be the carbon dioxide emission? Incandescent, if it is there, conventional, that is about 4,400. For fluorescent, it is about 1,000. For LED, it is half of that. So from incandescent, if you can see, hardly 1/10 or 1/9. Now another important aspect is there, whether they are having any harmful contents in them, manufactured. So incandescent bulb, of course, they were not having any harmful contents of mercury. Similarly, LED also do not have any toxic mercury, but unfortunately, fluorescent, they are having a toxic, that is the mercury. And this is the reason that now CFL is replaced because of this, because of their disposal and contents of the mercury. Because if you do not dispose of properly this CFLs, then they go to the land and they pollute the lands and our crops and all that. Now third thing what we see is the use of the daylight. Very important. What is the daylight? Now daylight is nothing but, daylighting is the practice of placing windows or other openings and reflective surfaces so that during the day natural light provides effective and internal lighting. So we can avoid the artificial lighting. And this is possible now with the proper design by the architects and engineers. One more aspect is there, through which we can reduce the lighting pollution is the use of the adoption of the solar energy. Now, solar power is being used for street lighting around the world. In a tropical country like India, solar street lighting makes all the more practical sense, given the abundance of solar energy around the year. So this, if we use it, then definitely we can save the Mother Earth from pollution due to lights. Not only that, even as you know, that for the generation of the energy or the electricity, whatever sources we are using, they are all polluting the air because mostly they are thermal or other sources are there. But if we use the solar, we will be avoiding and we will be saving the Mother Earth from pollution. Next question comes that, okay, we are talking all that, but then what is the purpose? Why sustainability? So this is the one thing is there, that throughout the world, when they have done the survey throughout the world, out of all the countries, they have found that India ranks 117. Now this is very much alarming situation. So that's why we have to take care of our planet Earth. And for considering this index of development, 3 elements are considered. That is the people, that is social measures. This measures the social performance, including quality of life. Second is the planet, that is environmental. It captures green factors like energy, pollution, emissions. And third is the profit, economic, which assesses the business, environment, and economic health. So this is the alarming situation, and then India has to work. We have to work sincerely for reducing pollution so we can better our situation and ranking from 117 to the present one. So with this, I thank you everyone for listening patiently. I welcome to the world of lighting and get enlightened. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.